Well, hello there, Fancy Pants. I don't know if you're wearing fancy pants. You might be. Welcome to another Jason's Mixpot tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to use some of the cool assets found inside of Jason's Mixpot to create some, what are we calling this? Vintage film effects. Watch and listen. Ah, it's pretty good. Let's watch that again full screen because it looked pretty good. All right, so literally everything in there was created using Jason's Mixpot. By the way, you're probably you may have seen this before. This is the sales pitch. This is the commercial. If you go to jasonsmixpot.com, you can get your hands on this asset library for $79. Now, since you watched the tutorial, I will give you 10% off. So just email me or send me a comment and say, hey, I watched the tutorial, give me 10% off. And I'll say, okay. Look at that guy. Looks like a freak. All right, let's get started. Excuse me. Kind of sick. Let me first clean this up a little bit. It's always good to start off clean. Okay, start with a new sequence here. And again, everything is found in Jason's Mixpot. So the first thing we need is some video clips. So let's go into video assets, B-roll. I love using the nature stuff, so let's find a couple of clips here. These two should be fine. We'll bring them into our folder here. Now, it doesn't matter what kind of software you're using. I'm using Premiere Pro. This stuff works in obviously any kind of video editing software. Let's find a section that we like in this clip. That looks fine to me. Bring that down, at least, you know, for this example. Now I'm in a smaller sequence. I'm in a 720 sequence, which is why I had to rescale the video because the video is full HD. All right, let's grab another part of the clip here. We'll call that good. And just drop it. Oops, what did I do there? Why are my shortcuts? My shortcuts have changed, I'm telling you. Isn't that weird? It should be that. Huh, anyways, whatever. Okay, so next, what we're going to do is age this up a little bit. So what I want to grab first, let's go back into the Mixpot, video assets, and we'll go into film, grain, and leaks. And let's grab some grain. Film grain in here, the film grain matches actual film stock. Grain is just some random, you know, like this kind of stuff. It's grain, but it's like old school and it's not really matching. Although this one kind of is. That one should probably be in there, but whatever. You can move it wherever you want. So I'm going to use, not that one. Let's use this one. So I'm going to grab this film grain, put it down on top of my video clips. And I want to start with just the film grain before we go into the video itself. So let's just pull the video down a little bit. And what we want to do is click on the video, and we're going to change the composite mode. Your software may call it something different. Premiere calls it blend mode. Sometimes it's called composite mode. Whatever. We want to change this to, I'm going to use multiply, but you can use whatever you'd like. There's a lot of different ways of applying this over the top of your video. Overlay is not bad. I'm going to use multiply though. So I want to get rid of kind of the borders. It's a little much for me, so we're just going to rescale this up a little bit to get rid of some of those borders. And what I'm going to add, and again, your software might be a little bit different, but I'm going to add a filter, an effect that's going to allow me to change the saturation. I can change the hue as well if I want to, you know, warm it up a little bit. But what I'm going to do is bring back some of the saturation a little bit, and I'll probably bring up the contrast a little, and maybe play with the brightness a little bit there. So that's pretty good. So now we start with just the film grain, and then we go into our clip. It's a little heavy for me, so what I'm going to do is change that to full. I'm going to go in and just bring back the opacity a little bit so it's not quite so there. There we are. That's pretty good. And I do want a little bit on the end also, so I'm going to leave that little bit there, cut the rest off, and we'll call that good. Now what I'm going to do is go back into the Mixpot, this time go into burns and leaks, again inside the film grain and leaks folder, and let's grab I don't know. These are kind of cool. Maybe a little bright though. I think we want something a little, oh, that's kind of nice. I think we'll go with, I mean, this is, you do whatever you want. This one's pretty good though. So let's grab this and let's crash the software. We're going to put it on top of our video clips, and I just want it on top. Now again, if we put this over the top, all we're seeing is that layer. We don't want that. So I'm going to come up here to opacity, go to my blend mode, and change it to, I'll probably use multiply again, I suppose. And I'm going to use that same filter. Again, you can use whatever filter you want. It's just called ProcAmp here in Premiere. And I think I'm going to bring back the saturation. A little too much for me. Change the hue a bit. Maybe add some blue. No, maybe that. A little less saturation. And all right, we'll call that good. You know, I think I want no saturation at all. And what we might do with this one is actually change it from multiply to screen. Wow, that's a little heavy. A little much. I'm going to play with the contrast here. Just want it there a little bit. Maybe bring back a little more saturation. Yeah, that's cool. All right, last thing we're going to do, well, not the last thing. I guess we have a little more work to do. I'm going to go down and add a little light leak flash. That one's kind of cool. Let's start with that one. So we'll put it at the beginning of our clip. Again, go and change the blend mode. I'll use multiply here. And it's a different size than our sequence, so I'm just going to rescale this, change it so it fits. That's pretty good. I might start it actually where the clip starts. Yeah, I like that. And then I'm just going to duplicate this. There's different ways of duplicating it in your software. I'm not really teaching you how to use the software, but there we go. That's kind of cool. So now let's go in and make some noise. Again, using Jason's Mixpot, we'll go into sound effects and then into vintage. There's a couple different film projector sounds here. That one's a little too big. It's called big. Let's listen to this one. That's kind of cool. Ooh, let's use that one. I like that one. You use whatever you want though. So it looks like the film, it starts right about there, and I think I want this to kick in like, I don't know, somewhere in here. Oh yeah. Now what I want is at the end of this sound effect, the projector shuts off, and I want to use that. So I'm just going to come in here, make a cut there, and bring the end of the effect to the end of my sequence here. Let's see. Perfect. Add a little transition there. Not bad. All right, and then what I want to do is come back into the sound effects and use just some of these crackly things. That's too much. I already have that. That kind of stuff. Right at the beginning. Just little clicks and pops and things. Whoops, sorry. Gonna mess that up. Here we go. Oh gosh. Perfect. Love it. So if we shut down all the effects that we added and the audio, I mean, this is what we started with. It's just simply, oh, turn that one off too. Nope. Oh, sorry. Mute is what I meant to hit. There we go. So all we have is, what? Turn off. There we go. Nope, it's still on. What is happening? Mute, right? And then it goes, what? I don't understand. I don't want to hear the audio. I want to mute this audio and mute this audio. I don't know, something's going on with Premiere and it's funky. Oh well. Let's just bring it down like that then. So I want it to look, I want to see what we started with, kind of a before and after. So it's just clean, nice footage, right? Like it looks pretty good. We add all the stuff on top. Bring this back up and this back up. This is kind of annoying. And let's take a look at our final product. Pretty sweet, and everything, literally everything, from inside of Jason's Mixpot. So go check it out, won't you, and get 10% off. All right, thanks for watching, gang. See you next time.